Well, hello, this is Mr. Nason, and today we're going to introduce the new way we are going to be doing the theology class. We're going to talk about the weekly schedule, the schedule for the quarter, and also a little bit of how we're going to grade. I am responding to remote learning, and I am trying to develop what is better. It's been hard on our students, it's been hard on parents, it's been hard on the teachers, the remote learning. Internet sometimes goes up, it goes down for students, for the teachers, the school, and it's just been a back and forth, difficult way to teach. And so I'm responding to that, trying to adjust some. And the adjustments that I'm going to make for the second quarter, they're not in regards to content change or expectation change. The content will still be Walvoord, what we've been teaching from the beginning of the year, and we'll be teaching that until the end of the year. Not expectations. I will still be expecting students to Zoom with me and interact with me on a daily basis. But just the delivery style may be a little bit different. We're making some delivery changes, how I'm getting the information to the students to try to overcome some of the internet issues and remote learning issues, those things that, students are on the other side of that screen and I'm not sure they're hearing exactly what I want to teach, and they're sometimes distracted by other things that are going on in the room, those kinds of things. The kinds of assignments that we're going to give and the delivery of those assignments, that's what we're going to adjust for the quarter. What's going to be better for the students, I think, they'll have a better idea of exactly what they need to do and how they need to do it. It'll be better for the parents, and I'll talk about a little bit of that as well, and it'll be different for me. It's going to be harder in ways because I am going to have more prep, and I'm going to be producing videos like this one that you're watching, and then having to grade them and those kinds of things. So it's going to be different for me. I don't know if it'll be harder or easier, but it'll be different for sure. Mondays, the normal Monday, we will Zoom. So your students will still Zoom. Students, you will still Zoom with me. The Walvoord reading and the questions will be assigned, and they'll be the basics for the week's instruction. So the week's instruction will come directly out of your reading and answering those questions. That's why it is first and foremost that you get those. I'm going to also give you a memory verse on Monday. And so you'll get a memory verse on Monday that will be due on Friday. On Tuesday, we'll Zoom again. And during the Zoom class, the Walvoord questions will be due that morning, but during the class of Zoom, the Edpuzzle lecture will go on. What does that look like? I am going to record a lecture and I'm going to load it into a YouTube account, and then I'm going to take that YouTube account and I'm going to attach it to an Edpuzzle. What does that mean? It means that your students will get a lecture, and students, you will get a lecture from Edpuzzle. And what that does is it allows me to interject questions based on the lecture, multiple choice questions, into the lecture itself. And students, you will have to answer those questions as we're working through the lecture. And we've already tried one this week. 15-20 minutes will be tops for the lecture, and then based on the lecture and answering these questions, your students will be graded, or students, you will be graded per those Edpuzzle assignments. On Tuesday, again, we're developing the material that's coming out of Walvoord. I'm not going to be changing it. I'm going to be adding and going deeper into that material so that it's better understood. These multiple choice questions they're going to come right out of there. I'm going to be putting scripture on the screen like I've got this here. But it's going to cause paying attention to the lecture to be critical. The questions will come right out of the lecture. The questions won't be easy. I'm going to make them a little difficult to answer so that the paying attention to the lecture is paramount. I'm going to pick little things out of the things that I am saying so that students will answer questions based on what they have heard. Now, students, there are Christianese answers that may be correct to the question that I'm asking you, but the answer will actually come from the lecture. So there'll be a specific answer in the lecture that I will be looking for, and you will have to answer it that way. The Sunday school answer, Jesus, may not be the right answer to the multiple choice question. So Wednesday, what will Wednesday look like? We're going to discuss the memory verse. Depending on internet and those kinds of things, we'll either do it directly on Zoom. Zoom will be another day that we'll have Zoom on Wednesday. I forgot to put it up there, but we will have Zoom on Wednesday. But we'll discuss the memory verse from the passage and from the surrounding context of the passage so that we can understand exactly what the memory verse means in the context of where it was written. So that when we understand the meaning, it'll help us to memorize it. And then next, on Thursday, we'll Zoom again. There'll be another Edpuzzle lecture. It'll be another 15 to 20 minutes, and it will further develop the ideas. And I will be responding to questions that students had on either their questions that they turned in on Monday or the Edpuzzle assignment on Tuesday. And so I'll be responding and developing and trying to enhance the learning in that particular Edpuzzle. And then on Friday, we will Zoom again for the memory verse quiz. And the students will have to recite the verse to me. And basically what they will do is put their hands on their cheekbones right here under their eyeballs and be able to recite the memory verse to me. I will have a chat room developed. I will call students into the chat room. They'll recite it, and I will give them points or credits based on them able to do that. A couple of things before we get to this slide. Actually, I'll just go back so it's not confusing. But during the week, I'm going to allow students to get out of work based on their Edpuzzle points. If they get 10 points on the Edpuzzle on Tuesday, the next Monday when there's the Walvard assignment, they will only have to answer half of the questions instead of all of the questions. They will get credit for all of it, but they will only have to answer half of the questions. And the Edpuzzle assignment on Thursday, if the students are able to get a 10 on the Thursday Edpuzzle, and then what that means is on Friday, they will get full credit for their memory verse. And so it will behoove them to be on top of the two Edpuzzles. Towards the end of the quarter, the final 3 weeks of the quarter, we're going to enter into a debate. So it's going to throw this kind of in the air when we get there. But we're going to debate the resurrection of Jesus, and that is something that Walvard will be teaching in this time period. The historical record, the implications on the resurrection, those kinds of things we'll be talking about from Walvard. And so we will look at the data and we will debate it in class. Students will write papers and they will debate in a Zoom type of a session. Well, they will interact with one another and debate this topic. Did Jesus rise from the dead? And that will be their assessment grade that'll go into this quarter. Again, we're responding to remote learning. I am personally responding to remote learning and trying to figure out the best way to get the material that we're trying to teach our students to them. And so I'm going to try this. If you have questions, if you have helpful hints, those kinds of things, I would love to hear that. Students will gain material easier, I think, this way. There won't be glitches in the Zoom. There won't be absences or words that are missing from what I'm trying to say. And they will be encouraged to pay attention to the lecture so that they can get the points from the Edpuzzle assignment. Parents, you're going to get access to the class instruction. The day after the Edpuzzle assignment, I will be posting the YouTube version of the assignment on the Google Classroom. And so you will be able to access that and watch it yourself without having to answer those questions. And the students will have access to it to further study for the debate and whatnot that will be coming up. I'm again adjusting to improve the process. It's going to be more work for me. It's going to be a little bit more difficult on a weekly basis to produce these things and get them up and have them ready for the students. But I think it'll be better for the students and it'll be better for the parents to do it in this process. And so hopefully you'll see that as students, you'll see that as parents, and help me in this process. Again, I am open to advice or any enhancements of this process adjustment as we speak. So let me know. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.